believe.
And Muslims.
Muslims. They both went to the University of Pennsylvania, got their PhDs from the University of Pennsylvania, moved to Kalamazoo, and then when Uma was 2, they moved to Saudi Arabia.
And so she grew up in Saudi Arabia?
She basically grew up from the age of 2 to high school age in Saudi Arabia, then went to private school in the UK, and then George Washington University, and basically has been at Hillary's side ever since.
What about the mission of the Institute of Muslim Minority Affairs and the Journal of Muslim Minority Affairs?
So, basically, Uma's father, and then after he died, her mother, and then members of her family, including Uma, have worked at this Institute of Minority Muslim Affairs, which is an English language publication of an institute that was established at a university in Saudi Arabia. The money for which comes from places which isn't exactly clear. But basically the mission is to improve the lot of Muslim minorities around the world.
But is this where accusations of connections to the Muslim Brotherhood and also to pro-Hamas fundraising network come from?
Yes, it is. I mean, obviously the parents are very much tied into the Saudi Arabian hierarchy. The father has since died. The mother still is in charge of this institute, still is editor-in-chief of this publication, and so there's a whole network of people who have devoted themselves, for reasons I really can't fathom, to trying to ferret out the relationship between the Abedins and the pro-Hamas organizations and the Muslim Brotherhood.
And that led to that infamous letter that Senator Michelle Bachmann, Congressman, she was also Congressman, wrote to the State Department.
Yes, basically warning the State Department that there was a Muslim Brotherhood infiltrator in their midst, working very closely with the Secretary of State.
But Abedin's husband is Jewish.
Well, that happens to be true, and a famously brash Jewish former Congressman Anthony Weiner, one time a mayoral candidate as well. Yes, I think this is clearly a case, Leonard, of opposites attracting. I mean, Uma doesn't drink. She was raised Muslim. I don't think she's particularly religious. And Anthony, as we all know, is brash and out there and is capable of doing things that none of us would be particularly proud of. And they fell in love because at the time when they fell in love, Anthony was an up-and-coming congressman from New York and had been talked about as potential mayor, potential senator, a protege of Chuck Schumer's. So the sky was kind of the limit for him until he sort of imploded.
I just can't imagine somebody who would be connected with the Muslim Brotherhood or Hamas marrying not only a Jewish politician, but somebody who had very strong pro-Israeli background.
And I think that's probably why Senator John McCain, once that letter was sent by Michelle Bachmann and others, went to the floor of the Senate, and obviously John McCain is no friend of the Clintons, and he basically denounced them and said there's no connection, and that Uma is like the kind of a person we would all want to be involved with American politics, American success story. And yet there are plenty of people that you don't have to scratch very far on that wonderful thing we call the internet, and you can find all sorts of conspiracy theories related to this family.
My guest is William D. Cohn, whose article Hillary's Other Daughter is in the current issue of Vanity Fair, the February issue. Many people wondered how Uma was going to handle the scandal, since she seems to be a very private person. Do we know whether she ever considered leaving Anthony Weiner?
We know I think what we know about this, and I want to give credit to Jonathan Van Meter, who wrote a very revealing New York Times Magazine piece about it a few years ago when Anthony was thinking about running for mayor. Basically, I think she was, as anybody would think of leaving. She was pregnant at the time when all this began to break. I think she was appalled And I think she turned to Hillary for advice. Now, one thing that might be a very wise choice, given Hillary's experience with something similar, shall we say, and her advice was to stand by your man, to stick with it, and you know, obviously they have a young son together, and by all accounts seem perfectly happy, except for this one major incident.
No, Anthony Weiner doesn't just make conservatives angry. When he was a guest on our show, I got an awful lot of negative response from listeners who will never forgive him.
Look, yes, and by the way, on your show, he also came out and defended Uma, who had just been attacked by Donald Trump, I believe, for her quote-unquote Muslim Brotherhood relationships. Look, I mean, I think what Anthony Weiner did, I mean, so many people invested so much politically in him, in the hope that he might be a mayor, might be a senator, might have this great political career, and then what he did is sort of unfathomable and unconscionable, and so I don't think that would inevitably lead to disappointment.
What was Uma's involvement with Teneo Holdings, a strategic consulting and investment banking firm? Isn't that one of the more serious problems to be dealt with?
Well, so basically when Anthony imploded and ended up having to resign from Congress, they lost his salary, which was about $175,000, leaving her as the sole breadwinner in the family. The salary of about $150,000, say, and
but he also has inherited money.
I don't. I mean, you might know better than I. Everything I read suggests that he had a very difficult upbringing, but I don't consider them family of great means or anything. But Clinton Inc. quickly went into overdrive to make up that income for Uma, and one of the ways they did that was getting her a job working at Teneo, which was a firm that was started by Doug Band, who of course did for Bill Clinton what Uma does for Hillary.